Hello Cancer, how you doing? Welcome to your energy reading here going from the 2nd through to the 8th of November. Hope you're doing well. Messages from energy that came out this week was all about the heart chakra. You can see that on our channel. Wow. Really singing the praises of the heart chakra. Amazing. Following your heart is really important this coming week here because we're shifting timelines in a way. There's a whole new energy or whole new understanding that's coming through, I think, on the 3rd and the 4th of November of this week here, which reassesses a lot of things and the way and what we do in life. And it helps us to reevaluate a lot of things. The also the other thing was on Cymatic TV where we do our energy updates. This was on the 3rd and the 4th, was all the alignments of the planets according to 3i Atlas. It is phenomenal. I think there's 6 alignments of planets of 3 or more bodies. And it's like absolutely phenomenal. Really worthwhile going to have a look. It will give you an idea of a focal point of what is going on this week here. Okay. The other thing was also to do with the elements that were coming through, and the elements were all in equal doses, but with a slight, a subtle increase on water and earth energies. So, let's have a look at your Astroflower. And one of the main things is that we're going to be looking at, I think, is that sort of air-fire combination, really, because I think that's where you're going to have the most amount of control over it. It depends on how you put your passions into life. And one thing you can see is this fixed fire that comes in from Taurus, and then you got this fixed fire that goes through you from Leo. So it sculpts your inner being on the physical side of being consistent passionately on your financial side will give you consistent passionate things within your relationship side. You also get that cardinal fire that comes in down on this side here, that comes in from Aries. So there's obviously with a consistency within your passions of how you drive your business, your project, or whatever you're doing. There's obviously a networking situation where there seems to be an injection that's coming into your life, and that's what could be changing everything. So therefore, the other side of it is that mutable air that comes in above, right in the here and now, just above your inner being, and that's where you can play with things, mentally play with things, and having your inner vision and playing with your inner vision and reassessing the situation, reevaluating the situation at the moment. So let's just get in and get some messages from the energy for you here. Let's see what's going on with the general energies. Here we go. We've got the morphic field that's going through here. It seems there's a lot of golden stuff going on. Empowering energy for you, almost like regal energy. That's the sort of feel I get from it. And I think, being a royalty, being a queen or a king, you have to have this sort of air of consistency about you, which allows people to respect you in a certain sense. And I think this is where you could be. This is where that consistency within the passion as well. And I think this is where you're feeling it. I think you're feeling that the connection you have with a job or a business or a project is actually you have a very powerful position, and you need to retain that powerful position. Yeah, you have. Look, within you, I think because you've got a lot to give, basically. Rather than waiting upon the outside world, I think you're creating it by this consistency of determination to get something done. And I think that's it's giving a new lease of life to a project or a business or a job, whatever you're doing. It's just making you feel like that. There's a new growth within your business and all of that sort of thing. And I think you're driving it more than anything else. On your relationship side, look at that, the Emperor card. And that's come out a lot for water signs as well. Having a control over your empire through the physical sort of sense in a way. And you've got that earth that comes in between the past and the future. And I've been saying it for water signs, and I think it's pretty much the same for you. It's just allowing things to materially happen for you. So you don't have to push it too much. It just happens by itself. And once you allow it to happen, then you can concentrate of sculpting it for your future with the mental energies and so forth. And that Emperor there is, I do feel that you're in a real strong position of sense of power, sense of control over how much you allow, your emotions or your emotional side of life or your spiritual side of life, and comes in, how much you let in. But also you're deciding this week of here is what you want to invest in as well in regards to relationships and so forth. Let's just have a look and see what's going on your financial side. This Ace of Pentacles is starting up a new chapter on your karmic path, on your life path, basically. There seems to be something that's coming to the surface. I almost feel like it's an idea that might have happened years ago, that it wasn't in the right time to do it, but now maybe it is, that's coming up. Yeah, there's an old idea that's coming in from out of the cold here, and I think you're driving it with the Five of Pentacles. I think actually you're going to realise that, oh, it's lucky I didn't do that business or that project or that thing all that time ago, because it would have failed. Now, the world has changed, situation has changed, and that idea or that passion is coming back and coming in out of the cold. And it's like an awakening of your true goals within you. As I said, there could well be a major thing coming in, the coincidences sort of thing. That's where you get the Four of Wands. Obviously, as you're presenting this Ace of Pentacles, this idea, this seed of a possible new job, business or project, networking with other people, there seems to be someone coming in who's really bringing in, being very passionate about what you've got here with that Ace of Pentacles, but they're actually willing to invest in your project in a good way, in a very good way. And I think this is that whole thing of coming in out of the cold there as well. In the past, you get the Three of Swords. It might have been emotionally, and that's what coming in out of the cold as well is all about. You might have been emotionally torn to shreds in the, trying to get this project off the ground, or trying to get this job, or trying to get the consistency in your life financially. I think that's come to an end now. In the future, you get the Page of Swords. Obviously, it's the conversion of ideas into reality. And I think this is the conversion of that Ace of Pentacles into reality. I think also you're starting to, speak your truth in a way and learning how to do that. That's with that mutable air that comes through there. I think you're learning how to play with your mental energies, to sculpt your future, or to at least sculpt this great idea that's coming to the surface. You get the Page of Cups. There is a lot of learning here. As I said, there's massive downloads. And, I normally sort of say, do the possible and aspire to the impossible. And I think here is that the idea that's coming to the surface is allowing you to really aspire to the impossible. So I'd like to have 30 hotels, but I don't have, I want to run a hotel business, for example. I want to have 30 hotels. I don't have one hotel to my name. And that's the first goal. That's the first step. So I can concentrate on what is possible, at the beginning, in order to get to what may seem impossible at the moment, at 30 hotels, may not necessarily be impossible in the future. And I think this is where you're opening up the idea of where can this go on your financial side in a really good way. And yeah, the overall energy, the general energy is really helping you out with the Nine of Cups. I think basically it's sort of saying you've got a lot of possibilities. And it's for you to choose which possibility or which direction you wish to be following. And I think this connection and networking with another person is going to really help you out here. Yeah, you get the Page of Wands. You get 3 pages on that side. You're really opening up to understanding. And maybe this other person is bringing their own road of understanding as well. They're learning how to explore their passions in life as well. Let's just see what's going on the relationship side here. Something from the past that is very, very solid. There's a lot of fire playing into that. But it's because it's very solid, because there's a lot of passions, I think, that are coming in. And I think it's been driven by that mutable fire there. It's allowing you to be excited about the moment or excited about your future more than anything else. You get the 9 of Wands on the karmic path there. So that 9 of Wands, that person is actually going off on a journey. They're backed by the 8 of Wands, therefore they've got a clear vision of where they're going. They've got a focal point of what they want in life. I think it's tied into your passions, into that fire within you. But it's backed by the 8 of Wands, and he's taking one wand and going off. And that's what that Ace of Wands is all about. You get the 9 of Swords as well. Look at that. And that's with the connections with the outside world. I think there's it's possible that you are taking a position of an emperor, which I don't think that 9 of Wands concerns you, actually. I think this is people that are around you that may feel insecure more than anything else. And you've got to, I think your position or your stance you're taking in regards of kind of going, this is what I like and this is what I want to explore, and being very definite about it. In regards to relationships, is helping the other person with that. So you got 3 9s on the table and 3 pages. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Let's just see what's going on. Yeah, in the past, as I said, the 6 of Wands. There's something that's really passionate about the past that I think you've gone through, and you've realised that, yeah, this is the goal, and and we live it like the tide. It goes and it comes, but you're looking to sort of like bring that back to the surface as well, or it's coming back to the surface just by taking that stance within you and taking that position of power. In your future, you get the Strength card. Yes, I do believe you're sort of like creating new possibilities and staying strong and true to your inner feelings and inner vision in regards to your relationships is going to be really important. How should you connect with the here and now? It's got the 10 of Swords. Do you know what? I think it ties obviously into the 9 of Swords as well. I think it's the attitude, and this is what creates the Emperor. I think it's the attitude of sort of saying, I'm not going to put up with it anymore. It's dead, done and dusted with. In respect that I'm not going to, I'm going to stay strong, and I'm going to help you through it, but you've got to walk through it. We'll walk through it together, but you've got to walk through it. That's the feeling I get from it. The overall general energies that's playing with it is the 8 of Cups. You get the 8 of Cups on one side, 9 of Cups on the other. 8 of Cups is all about being curious, and this is about curious about your future. Where can you take this 6 of Wands, this victory, this passionate connection with another person to another level? And I think this is where you can be when you're being very consistent inside you of what you're after, it's going to be very much easy to see how you can explore things. So there you go, Cancer. Thanking you very much for being here with us. Thanking you very much for subscribing, liking and sharing. It really does help us with the algorithm of YouTube. There's also the messages from energy that came out on this channel here, and the energy update over on Cymatic TV. I will see you soon. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.